Hello, welcome to Her Story Women in Loyalism, and my name is Leanne Abernethy. Today we're going to interview Rhonda. Hello, Rhonda.
Hi, Leanne.
Rhonda Hutchinson is another member of Her Story Women in Loyalism, and I'm very pleased that you're here today, Rhonda.
Thank you very much.
So, Rhonda, you joined the group about 18 months ago, isn't that right?
Yep. I went to an evening in the Manor Hotel to watch Kingsley Donaldson, and Kenny Blair, who is head of Ulidia, asked if I'd be interested in doing a course on political governance, and I said yes, and that's how I met you, and the rest is history.
Political governance. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, that was actually quite hard. It taught me a lot more about politics than I even had any clue about. Didn't have a clue about half of the stuff that went on, and he was very full of good information about Stormont.
So, a very worthwhile course then.
Definitely.
That's good, that's good. So, whenever you look back at some of the stuff that we've done, you played a very major role within our 2-year anniversary event in June 2023, so last year. Can you tell me a wee bit about that event?
It was obviously to celebrate 2 years of HERstory, and you had set up panels, and I was in one of the panels talking about what women in loyalism was about. And it was the first time I had really ever spoken public. Never would I had the confidence to do it before, but now, because I've been in the group and we've done different things, it's built my confidence up a bit, and I don't feel just so nervous speaking to people in public now.
Very good. So that was your first time?
That was the first time.
Not your last time?
Not my last time.
So tell us about the BBC then, Rhonda.
Yes. Enda McClafferty emailed you wanting to know would we do an interview for him about what we thought about the DUP going back into Stormont and what our views were on it. So 4 of us were interviewed by him, and all had totally different opinions, and a lot of people can't understand why we can have different opinions but still agree at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of things were you saying in that interview?
Well, some of us were saying that they think that Jeffrey Donaldson and the DUP should stay out of Stormont, and some of us were saying he should go back in. My view personally was that he should have went back in, because you can't fix nothing if you're not there to fix it.
And that wasn't the same view as all the women in the group?
No, we all have different opinions, as I say. Some wanted him to stay out, others just weren't sure what they should do, but some of us wanted him to go back in, so yeah. He has eventually gone back in.
And what's your thoughts on the fact that the group has their own different opinions? Is that something that's good or not?
It's unique because we have had a lot of interest, especially after that interview, with people wanting to interview us, students wanting to interview us for their thesis and things like that, and even newspapers are contacting you for statements and stuff. But as you said in your initial interview about HERstory, we don't make public statements, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, and nobody can really get their head around the fact that we all have a different opinion, but we're still in the one group.
Yeah. So going back to the actual group itself, it has a number of members. It is over 70 members. Some are involved an awful lot, some not so much. What's the big thing you've taken away from the group?
To be quite honest, it's friendship and empowerment and education. I've learned a lot more about political documents and things like that I would never even have thought of reading, to be quite honest. But now that you read them, you get that information, and then a lot of the girls that are in the group have become really good friends.
That's good. And whenever you're reading documents, what kind of way do you read them?
It's we'll read a certain part, and if something comes up that we're not too sure about, we'll discuss it. Again, we all take different meanings out of different things, but sometimes it takes us quite a while to read through a document because it always veers off into other things.
And that's not a bad thing. It means we get to learn more about each other, doesn't it?
That's it. Everybody's point and what they think it means and all the rest of it. But it's just that it's actually a good way to socialise with people.
Yeah, and there's always a cup of tea.
There's
and
always a cup of tea
some
and a biscuit.
sweets and a little bit of gossip as
Yeah,
well.
oh, definitely.
So the group operates in a number of areas. Where would you normally attend the sessions?
I live in Ballymoney, so Ballymoney would be my base, but I have gone up to the Londonderry one, and I've made some good friends up there too, and it's just all good fun.
That's good. You're sitting there smiling, which is good. I am interviewing you today, so you're sitting here talking to me. But over the last number of weeks, we've been training on how to do podcasts. So
Yeah.
tell me a wee bit about the podcast and what you've been learning to do.
Right, we've learnt sound, we've learnt cameras, we've learnt about setting things up. And to be fair, Glenn that has been teaching us has been amazing. Like, there was never any mission I thought I could ever do anything like that. But now I know how to do it, and it's not as hard as you think. And like, the group has given me more confidence to even put myself down to do this. And it's been brilliant.
And you have also signed up to do media techniques training as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I seem to be signed up for a lot of things. I'm doing a media techniques course, which is going to be 2 nights a week over 11 weeks. And that should be interesting to know what that's all about.
So it seems to be very varied. Do you like the fact that it's so varied?
Love it, because you're never doing the same thing all the time that you would get bored. You know, you're not going into sitting that. You're not going into sitting like wee cards. You're looking at documents. You're maybe going places of historical value. It's just so varied.
Okay, and if there was something advertised and it really wasn't your cup of tea, would you feel bad saying no to it?
No, I wouldn't feel bad saying no to it. Because like you said yourself, everybody likes different things. But so far we haven't actually come across anything that none of the girls like to do or are interested in.
I know we have one member who absolutely loves the Good Friday Agreement.
Oh, yeah, that's our friend Leslie. She loves the Good Friday Agreement. She's the only person that's read every word of it.
And it's something we're bringing back to the table shortly,
We
isn't
are
it?
going to bring it back, because I hadn't been in the group when you've done it initially, and there was a couple of the other ones as well, so we're going to go over it again.
Yeah, we
just to
very
get-
much had it on the agenda to do, and then the Safeguarding the Union document came out, so
Yeah.
we've set everything aside to have a look
Yeah.
at it. What do you think of it so far?
Well, the first bit that we have actually went through and read, it's not really particularly plain English. It's something that we have to really think about, the wording of it, because it's not just as simple as it seems.
And I think that's why they're written like that,
Yeah,
isn't it?
so it's a good way of getting into it and getting somebody to explain exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, and do you find it does make a difference that you've read the document, even though it is difficult to understand? So whenever people are talking to you about it, you've actually read it yourself instead of somebody else telling you what's in it.
And you can have an informed opinion. And, you know, instead of before, I would have just, if people were talking about things like that, I just wouldn't even have got involved in the conversation. Whereas now, if somebody's talking about something that we have read or learnt about, I'm more confident to speak up now.
Right.
And
Okay.
say, well, no, I don't think that's right.
So do you feel more confident now to speak up?
Definitely. I definitely do. You have really, it's like Sonia was saying earlier, inspired us, because you're so driven that you inspire us to do things that was way out of our comfort zones.
Do you remember when we were first talking about podcasts?
Yeah, we were petrified. We were
Yeah.
excited, but
Yeah.
scared and whatever. But
Yeah.
now that we've actually got it up and running, it's
And we're
class.
here.
It's brilliant.
We're here.
Yeah.
So we've done a lot, and we have a lot in the future that we're looking at. Is there anything that you can think of that you would really like HERstory to focus on in the future?
Not necessarily focus on, but I do like the way that the wee trips are good to historical places, but I do like finding out more about our history, which I didn't even know, and like, I'm 50 plus, and we didn't learn much about any of that stuff when we were at school, or even growing up, we were never taught it, and I'm actually finding it very interesting now, about like Protestantism, loyalism, Orangeism, things that, you know.
And since you've brought that up, I have to ask you the question around loyalism, because that's the word that's always brought up with us. What does being a loyalist mean to you, Rhonda?
Loyalist, I would be loyal to my wee country, to my king, my culture, which seems to be, like the girl said before, dwindling. So we sort of need to get that out there, and that loyalist is not a dirty word. It just means you're a loyal person.
And does it annoy you if people look down at you because you say you're a loyalist?
Oh, it really aggravates me. That would be one of the things that would set me off. Well, what's your problem? You know, why can I not be a loyalist? You're allowed to be what you want, so why can I not be a loyalist? I have to acknowledge your beliefs, but you don't have to acknowledge mine. That doesn't sit well with me now.
Right. And you did mention there about other people's beliefs. Just because you're a loyalist, does that mean then that you don't accept other people's beliefs, or is it just you're all encompassing but you want yours?
I respect everybody's right to have their own beliefs, but they should respect mine too.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Rhonda. That's all we've got time for today. I do appreciate you talking to me.
No problem.
And good luck in the future with the rest of your podcasting
Thank
on
you very
both
much.
sides.
Yes.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you for watching in, everybody. And remember, you can get us on Twitter and Facebook under HERstory Women in Loyalism, or you can get us on www.womeninloyalism.co.uk. Thank you.